What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check it out. So the Acolyte currently is still sitting at this rotten 14% for the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and everybody is up in arms about it. And what I've been saying all this time is, yo, everybody's paying attention to this. This is a time for Star Wars fans to keep applying pressure. Keep applying the pressure, okay? Because everybody's talking about it. Everybody's making noise about it. All right, Chris Gore and Film Threat, they're going to do a whole Star Wars funeral on July 17. Make sure you guys are rocking with that. We got to keep applying pressure because this is our fandom, all right? This is our franchise. It doesn't belong to Disney. It belongs to the fans. And we need to take it back, all right? You took it. We taking it right back. But here's the funny thing about this franchise right now, all right? 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody's crying review bombing, all right? Oh, you're review bombing it. You don't like it because there's black lesbians in this. And it's like, well, no, it's actually because it's a garbage show, okay? But they want to make it about race and gender and all of this other stuff, all right? You can see right here, this article on The Root. Racists are review bombing black-led Star Wars series, The Acolyte, despite high ratings from real critics. Oh, we're not real critics, ladies and gentlemen, okay? We're not real critics. The fandom, okay? I want y'all to consider that. The fans that absolutely built Star Wars into what it became. The fans that go out there and buy the merch, buy the t-shirts, buy the video games, all right? We're not the real critics of Star Wars. No, we're the only critics that absolutely matter, okay? Because guess what? These clowns that put this thing up here at 84%, yeah, go get them to buy all of that shit. Go get them to buy all the merch, buy all the video games, buy all this stuff, all right? Go get them to buy all of that crap because the fans ain't rocking with it. And yeah, this thing's sitting at 14%. I dare somebody to find someone with an Acolyte t-shirt on. Find me an Acolyte t-shirt in public, okay? All right? By someone that wasn't paid to do it. All right, find me an Acolyte t-shirt that says, I love the Acolyte. Find me that t-shirt. You won't find it anywhere out there in the world, all right? It's non-existent. It's like finding a dinosaur. It just don't happen, like a unicorn, all right? You will never see an Acolyte t-shirt out there in public, all right? So yeah, that's the point, right? These clowns over here at The Root, this is The Root, it's a black website, all right? And I like to point these things out because these clowns are always crying some sort of victimhood. Oh, it's racism, it's this. Like, no, it's not racism, okay? It's a shitty show made by shitty people that don't know anything about the franchise. That's what it is. And if you guys would just sit back and just take a step back and look at your own stupid logic, you would see how stupid what it is that you're saying. Okay? Because they're saying, well, it's the racists, all right? The racists have a problem, right? As it says here, once again, Star Wars fans show their true colors when a person of color or woman gets to shine in a galaxy far, far away. That's what they're saying. Okay, so what you're telling me is that Star Wars fans are just going to outright review bomb, all right? According to you, we're going to review bomb a black-led Star Wars series. If there's a black lead in it, we coming down with the hammer. That's what you said, okay? Well, somebody explain this to me. Yeah, Rosario Dawson. Last I checked, Rosario Dawson is a black chick. All right. And you can say she's Afro-Cuban, Afro-Latina. I think she's Puerto Rican as well. You can say that if you want to. At the very least, you can say she's a woman of color. Well, why wasn't this show review bombed? This show wasn't review bombed whatsoever. Yeah. Star Wars Ahsoka sitting at 66%. All right. Nice, healthy bucket of popcorn. Now, you can say maybe this should have been up there with the 86%. Maybe you can say that, but it's not 14%. It's not 20%. It's not 30%. It's not 40%. It's not even 50%. It's in the 60s. Mostly people like this show. So if this thing wasn't review bombed, and again, Rosario Dawson, all right, woman of color, black, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Latina, whatever you want to say, she ain't a white chick. She sure as hell ain't white. What is your excuse, Root? Okay? What is your dumbass excuse that you're going to try to say, oh, it's racism, it's racism? Well, why wasn't that review bombed? Because according to you, Star Wars fans show their true colors when a person of color or a woman gets to shine in a galaxy far, far away. All right? That's what you said there, Jared Alexander. That's what your words are, not mine, your words. And yet, here we have Rosario Dawson, not only a person of color, but also a woman. You know? So explain that to me. Explain your dumbass logic right there, okay? Explain this. Oh, you can't? Oh, because you're full of shit, right? It's okay. Yeah, you're full of shit. I get it. Yeah, I'm full of shit. I'm full of shit. Yeah, you're full of shit. It's fine. All right. It's okay to admit you're full of shit and you're just writing propaganda. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. At least you would be honest at that point. All right. Because this entire article is not honest. You know, this is not an honest article when you try to spin this bullshit. And then we got an easy example just to point to, you know, like literally the last Star Wars series that came out. Like just right there in your face. You don't even have to think hard about it. I thought like Women of Color would be, you know, review bombed and dog walked and destroyed because Star Wars fans just like that. They just racist like that. But yet and still, 66%. That's not review bombing. That's why I always say it's almost impossible to review bomb something that people like. But when you see this 14% over here, you can try to cry and moan all you want, Jared Alexander. This 14%, this is a legitimate score. People do not like this shit. You know, whether you agree with it or not, people do not like this show. And that's why it's getting 14%. It has nothing to do with race. Because if it had something to do with race, then all the racists would have came out and dog walked Ahsoka. They could have easily cast a white girl in Ashley Eckstein if that's what they wanted to do. They could have cast Ashley Eckstein, all right, who was the voice of Ahsoka in Clone Wars and Rebels. They could have easily cast her to play this role. And everybody would have applauded it. Oh, great choice, blah, 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 blah. They went and got Rosario. And Rosario, in my opinion, did not do a good job with this role, okay? But nevertheless, we still don't have a splat, all right? Or a rotten bucket of popcorn, all right? It's 66%. People still liked it. So where are the racists with Ahsoka? How come the racists didn't review bomb this? Oh, you don't have an answer. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, okay? I'm full of shit, Derek. That's why I don't have a response. I'm full of shit. Yeah, let's go ahead and read this full of shit article. The Star Wars fandom continues to embarrass itself. The latest in the series, The Acolyte, has fallen victim to yet another review bombing campaign from the audience, an unfortunate practice that's often rooted in racism and misogyny. Yep, let's just, every time he says some dumb shit, I'm just going to point out Rosario Dawson and how this thing was not review bombed, okay? If that's what it's all about, then this thing should be sitting at 14% as well. But it's not, okay? So yeah, get lost with that dumbass argument. Straight up, man. The prequel series, which stars Amanda Stenberg, earned glowing reviews from critics, currently sitting at 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. The series has also been a ratings hit for Disney Plus. Wow, man. He went into the Shill wagon for this one, man. He pulled out all the Shill tactics, standing as the largest debut for the streamer so far this year. Yeah, standing next to absolutely what? Nothing. Nothing else has come out on Disney Plus this year. You know, yeah, Disney just fed all of these shills all the ammunition that they would need. So here's somebody's tweet, Bella. The fact that the racist and homophobic grifters are trying to make the Acolyte's 11.1 million views in a week seem like a failure is just another example of them moving the goalposts. I mean, it was a failure. I'm sorry, man. The last series that came out, Ahsoka, okay, had more views than this. Again, I understand that you guys are knee deep into your ideology. You're knee deep into your victimhood because you just want to blame white people for everything. You're just a big ass victim, okay? But sometimes facts are facts, and you just got to accept the facts. Sadly and unfortunately, we got a shitty show in The Acolyte, and it didn't get the job done. And nobody cares about it. It's not rating in the ratings, okay? It's not high up there. You know, you can cry all you want to. Y'all said no one will watch, and millions did. Compared to what? Again, we're talking about comparing like a series that got millions and millions and millions upon millions of fans and everything viewing for Mando season 1 and 2. This thing ain't even close to that. You know, I mean, you guys got to be kidding me, man. Got to be kidding me. Anyway, yeah, like that's what we're dealing with, all right? We're dealing with a lot of victims that don't really know the franchise. They don't know the franchise. They don't know what the franchise has done in the past. They're just doing this, all right? But making no sense whatsoever, all right? Yet, despite its warm reception, the show is still not immune to some of the harshest parts of Star Wars fan base, as it currently sits at a shocking 15% audience score. That, again, that should tell you something. Why are the fans hating this? Why are the fans not liking this? Why is this the worst score by far of anything that had to deal with Disney Star Wars? It has nothing to do with black chicks and women and lesbians and all that other kind of shit. I pointed out Andor got a lesbian relationship in it. That ain't sitting at 14%. Once again, Ahsoka, okay? Let's bring it up again. Here's Ahsoka. Woman of color, all right? 66%. If your, little theory was true, then yeah, this thing would be sitting at 14%. But it's not. For years now, certain projects in the franchise have been review bombed with hundreds of audience reviews on sites like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes pouring in and affecting their overall scores. Dedicated audiences feel a right to these stories, and unfortunately, sectors of these fandoms have some serious racial, misogynistic, and even homophobic biases they operate with when engaging in this content. Yep, let's once again just talk about this. This is Ahsoka, all right? And this is her audience score. And then they're saying like there's been nothing but review bombing in Star Wars. Where? And maybe you can argue, you want to argue The Last Jedi? Okay, argue The Last Jedi. Where is everything else? Yeah, like even Book of Boba Fett isn't this low. 51%. Even the Book of Boba Fett isn't this low. Yeah, but The Rise of Skywalker somehow is sitting at 86%. Where's the review bombing here? Yeah, the bombers let us down on this one, man, because this is hot garbage. What's going on with this 86%, bombers? Yeah, I mean, again, if it's all about, women and, misogyny and all that, where's that? I mean, if anything needs to be reviewed. Yeah, Mando Season 3, where they hijacked, okay? They hijacked the series from Din Djarin and handed it to Bo-Katan. 50%. Again, you could argue it's being review bombed, but it's nothing like this. It's not even close to this. Again, this is what I'm saying. Nobody ever had anything to say. They weren't squawking about some review bombing with Ahsoka or any of those other series. They're only talking about it now because the fans are making a difference, okay? This is why I say keep applying pressure, because you're going to keep getting dumbass articles like this written, and it's glorious, all right? These guys get to put their foot in the mouths and show that they don't know anything about Star Wars or anything about what's really going on, okay? They're just crying victimhood like they always do. Some of the backlash from fans also came from a clip of Stenberg that started to circulate as the series premiered. As Forbes pointed out, an interview clip from years ago where Stenberg talked about making white people cry while promoting her film, The Hate U Give, was reshared by thousands, completely taken out of context and used as a way to criticize the actress and a perceived woke agenda from Lucasfilm. I mean, any actress that comes out and says that they want to make white people cry, I'm sorry, and I know it's about The Hate U Give. I said that on the previous video, but come on, all right? At some point in time, man, this is garbage, and it's going to hurt your franchise if you decide to cast this actress. It's going to hurt your franchise. Again, this is not a new move in the Star Wars fandom playbook. Stars like John Boyega, Kelly Marie Tran, and as The Root reported, Obi-Wan star Moses Ingram faced relentless attacks and even racial threats from the fans. Like, how many fans? Like 3, 4, 5, out of the millions and millions of Star Wars fans. You guys pluck a couple of tweets out that some idiot wrote. Maybe even you wrote it. I don't know. And this is what you want to use as the proof that the fans are against John Boyega. Most fans wanted John Boyega to be the star of the sequel trilogy. Again, these people have no idea what they're talking about, and it shows when they write these articles. Most fans that you talk to say, oh my God, they shortchanged John Boyega. Why wasn't John Boyega the star of the sequel trilogy? We wanted to see the stormtrooper turned Jedi. That would have been a fascinating story. You hear that from white fans, black fans, Latino fans, Asian fans, all across the board. That's what you hear. They wanted John Boyega to be the guy. And then he's going, oh, they were receiving relentless attacks and racial threats. You're clearly not tuned in to what the fandom really wants. And you're following dumbasses on social media and you're getting all your talking points from Kathleen Kennedy. It's clear. It's clear, okay? All the victimhood in the world. That's who you're focusing on. You're listening to the victims instead of listening to actual fans talk about this stuff. Again, go back and do your homework, man. You guys are way off base. God forbid the Star Wars franchise represents more than just the white leads of the original series. Again, Samuel L. Jackson, Billy D. Williams, all right? Nobody had any problems with them. They were stars. They are beloved. Everybody is cool with all of these other characters. But no, we got to focus on the talking points that were handed by our master Kathleen. Kathleen Kennedy had to get out here and tell these cats to spill all this bullshit all over the internet. It's embarrassing. You talking about the Star Wars fans are embarrassments? Y'all are embarrassments. You clearly don't know anything about the franchise or the fandom. You just getting out here and parroting Kathleen Kennedy and her dumbass talking points. You sound like Kathleen Kennedy at this point. That's who you sound like. Next thing you know, they're going to be saying some shit about the male fans are the ones that's the problems. Even though the male fans are the ones that built this shit. That's what you're going to be hearing next from the root. You know, they're going to be talking about, misogyny, toxic masculinity. I'm waiting for that article to come out. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous, man. With the black and queer lead like Stenberg, scores of fans are finally seeing themselves in this beloved fantasy world. And no, it ain't that. No, they not. All right. And again, if you need skin color and sexuality to see yourself, you a shallow person. You know, there's more to you than that. You're more important than your skin color and who you like to sleep with. You are far more of a person than that. And if that's how you see yourself, I'm black and queer, again, man, I'm sorry. Maybe it hurts to hear it, but that's a very shallow way of looking at an entire human life. You know, your skin color, who you like to sleep with. All right. That's the most narrow-minded shit I've ever heard of. You know, but yeah, again, this is what ideology is. All right. It dumbs everybody down to their basic concepts of who they are instead of looking at the richness and in the fullness of humanity. You know, this is how they want to see themselves. I feel bad for them, to be honest with you, man. I feel bad for them. But nevertheless, let's just again refresh this. This idiot saying that this is about some racism, you know, misses the complete boat. All right. Again, Rosario Dawson, woman of color. All right. And then her show sitting on Route 66. Okay. Sitting on Route 66, 66%. Not review bombed by any stretch of the imagination. Still a positive score. And again, I don't think this is a good show, but it didn't get review bombed. It did not get review bombed. So something else is up. And maybe you guys, instead of spitting propaganda and ideology and nonsense and bullshit, maybe you should dig a little bit deeper and think about what it is that you write before you get out there and embarrass yourself. Anyway, folks, y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.